Hello, everyone. I am here to discuss And the Shofar Blew by Francine Rivers. I'm so excited to chat about this with everyone. This is one of my favorite books. So I was really feeling like reading again was going to be an interesting experience because I read it like over 10 years ago and lots has changed in 10 years. And I wondered how I would feel about this book. And I definitely have more mixed feelings about this book than I did before, but it's still a 5 star and I still love the story. But there's definitely like some nuance that I want to talk about in this discussion. So I'm excited to do that with everyone. So if you're comfortable, you can say hi in the comments. I did post it on Instagram too. So hopefully people come. Hi, everyone. So glad that you're here. Hello, hello. Um, Hi, everyone. Hi, excited. Me too. This has been interesting, like watching how Fable, the people in the Fable group have reacted. Like there's been a lot of mixed feelings, not a lot, like some mixed feelings. So I just think that this will be a good discussion and just want to reiterate, like, I know that this can be a very sensitive topic for a lot of people. So we're all going to be as sensitive as possible and honest. And yeah, however you feel about this book, you're welcome here. And I'm totally open to hearing like criticism against this book because I totally get it. I do think that it is just a good book to discuss. Like I don't think that it's perfect, but it's perfect for me, if you know what I mean. And so I'm so open to talking about all the things. So I'm really excited too. Just because it's so relevant to today, right? So yeah, thank you everyone for saying hi. Hello, hello. Just finished it. Oh, amazing. Okay, it's fresh then. Hello, Ohio. Nice to see you. Hello. Oh, I'm so glad you guys are saying hi. I really appreciate it. A lot of her books on your shelf. Nice. Yeah, I mean, she's got a big backlist and she's a prolific author for a lot of Christians and I think non-Christians too. Like she broke into mainstream a little bit with Redeeming Love. So um yeah. And then she just announced a new book that is coming out next year. So that's going to be really fun. We're for sure reading that together, you guys. If you don't know, I do plan to continue having a book club next year. I just don't know like what the theme is going to be. But to be able to read Francine Rivers' new book in February, it's not going to be Francine Rivers again. It'll be something, but her book will be the February book because that's when it releases. Because it would be so fun to discuss that fresh with everyone. So, oh, thanks for stopping in. You DNF'd it. Okay. I did go read the ending though. I tried it. No, it's totally okay. I get it. It is a tough read. It's not a happy book like at all most of the time. But I don't know. I'm okay with Francine Rivers like not having happy books because no one writes like she does, and um, yeah, the redemption arc is there for sure. She writes sadness and then she redeems it at the end. Um, that's okay. Oh, yay, yay. That's so good. Um, oh, yeah, I'm for sure going to pre-order as soon as it's available in Canada. I haven't checked recently if it is, um, but yeah, I'm for sure reading it. And actually, if you missed that last time, I did get the ebook arc for it from NetGalley, so I'll be able to read it even if I can't pre-order it. So I'm thankful for that. Um, Christian romances. I know. Well, yeah, it may be just Christian fiction in general. But I'm not gonna lie, it might be fun to read non-Christian stuff too. Let me know how you guys feel about that. Um, just because Christian fiction is so hit and miss. Like at least Francine Rivers, like the quality is there with the writing, you know. Um, Not always there with everything else. So it'd be sucky to like read a bunch of not great books next year, but we'll see. I'll put a lot of thought into it, you guys. Um, yes, this was my least favorite so far. Okay, okay, love to hear your thoughts then. Whoops. I like what you said in the blog about it. Yeah. Yeah, I know. And I'm glad that I got it out in time. My most recent video on YouTube, I was reading this book in it, and I think I finished it in the video too. So I talked about my thoughts a little bit in there. So a little bit of spoilers, but yeah, no, it was a difficult read this time, um, just because like I had more difficulties with Eunice this time than I did last time. Um, everything else, I was like, I knew it was coming, and I was like, okay, I'm going to deal with this, because I knew that it was going to be like, yeah, redeemed in the end. But I struggled with Eunice throughout this book more than I did the first time. So I'll definitely want to hear your guys' thoughts on that. I can't wait to read her new book. I know. So sad that we have to wait for paperback. Yeah, I know. Is it coming out in hardcover most likely? I think that's what The Lady's Mind came out in as well. She's popular enough that they can sell hardcovers, so I get it. From BC, Canada. Hey, me too. I love this book. Read in June. Oh, okay. See, I love that. It's also one of my favorites by her. I think after this book club, I'm going to do a ranking video and like tier rank all her video or all her books in a video, and yeah, put them all to the test. Because I think after reading Leona's Garden and the mother daughter books, I think I'll have read all of her books then. I did technically DNF Sons of Encouragement, but otherwise, I think I read all her books, so I can tier rank them. And yeah, you remember this book being your least favorite? Okay, amazing. Someone just said it's their favorite, and then you're saying that's so fine. That is so fine. Masterpiece Reading Lab. Yes, those are for November, December for the club, but read them whenever you want. I'm okay with non-Christian books, probably, preferably not romance. Oh yeah, we would not even touch romance if they weren't Christian. Like, I'm not doing that. So no, it'd be just general fiction, probably, or maybe mystery if we want. So, this book's lots of Dylan's. Yes, totally. I know this is a difficult book, you guys, and I like when I first read it. I had no idea. Basically, anytime I would read one of Francine Rivers' books, I didn't read the description. I just like went in blind. So, yeah, I read like most of her books in my early 20s, and they just like encouraged my faith so much. And this book did, because I feel like on the spectrum of Christians, of like how committed you are to your faith and to Jesus and like serving him with your life, there's a different there's the spectrum of like doing that to not doing that and doing the opposite in this book. Like, I feel all the different kinds of Christians: lukewarm, whatever, prosperity, and all the things. I just feel like, I don't know, she's able to write from the perspective of people and not outright like condemn them, but just like allow us as the readers to like make our own decision on like, do I like that? Would I want to be like that? Because I strongly identified with Eunice in my early 20s. I was like, I am Eunice. Like, I fully related to her. I probably would have done everything that she did. But now in my early 30s, no, I would not do anything that Eunice did. And so that's very interesting to see like the growth there, and to remember how young she is at the beginning of this book, and how easy it is to like, once things have started, it's so hard to like break that, once she didn't quite catch Paul soon enough, I guess, to call him out. And then of course, this is also in the 80s and 90s, where like within Christian couples, women really were meant to be quiet and submissive. And I feel like that's not as common now. Like gender roles in marriage, I don't know. I mean, I'm not married, so I don't know if they are as like intense as this was. But hey, there's different marriages and all the things. And I'm not saying there's one right way, but like certainly if it was more of an equal partnership, Paul would have listened to her and like respected her opinion, Anyways, so there's my initial thoughts, but I still love Francine Rivers' storytelling in this book. I love the way that she gave each character their time to see how they reacted in this situation, like how Paul reacted like growing up with his dad, and then him becoming a pastor too, and now he has this church and he wants to prove himself really to his dad and to himself, I guess. And then Stephen and Samuel and Eunice, I feel like those are the main ones. And then like the side characters are nice too. Like, I loved Abby's character so much. But and then Timmy too. Like, Timothy was it was so sad to see that part, like knowing that he's growing up with a dad that is putting him like last, you know, in priorities. So um yeah, I just like that we got to see all of that. And um when you follow God's way, when you submit to Jesus, life is better. Like God's way really is the better way to live. Like Timothy found peace and like being away from his parents. And um it was cool to see him like grow up. And I'm actually surprised a little bit, I guess, that Lois was able to raise him that well. But I guess because he didn't have a dad like Paul did, that was like, you know, ruining everything. But anyways, what am I even saying? Let's go to the comments. But yeah, what do you guys think about that? Initial thoughts, I guess. Like this is still 5 stars for me for sure. Even though it was a tough read, but I just couldn't put it down. Like it was so immersive. I just like had to see how God was going to fix this, because the characters really made a mess of things. And it's so interesting. I want to talk about this too, like Samuel choosing to like stay quiet, I guess. Not stay quiet, but like I feel like the elders could have actually like sat Paul down and said, "This is not okay what you're doing, and we will ask you to leave if things don't change." Like, why didn't they do that? You know, and even after the other two left, why didn't Samuel say like, "This is not what we asked for"? And I don't know. That's like my own, like the kind of the justice, you know, that I would want to see happen. But Samuel is so willing to wait for God to do it, you know? And I don't know what the right way is. It's just a story, but like it does kind of like make me wonder, what would I do in this situation? And yeah, so there you go. I said a whole bunch of things. Let's see what you guys are saying. Would have enjoyed it more if the redemption had come sooner. I need to see Paul actually work himself. I know, like it was quite quick. Like as soon as the car accident happened, he has his wake up call and he goes and makes it right with everyone. And you're right. Like I wonder, I guess because like it was the wake up. Like he knew what was right and he just wasn't doing it. He had like lied to himself. Um, it is crazy. Like I guess like because it spanned over years, you know, like every couple sections it would show like the time jumps, because otherwise I think that him getting that corrupt that quickly wouldn't have been as realistic. But to like see probably the slow build of all the years, and then of Eunice just kind of like making it work, you know, year after year and not saying anything, and then he wouldn't listen anyways. But yeah, just to like see it get that bad. I don't know if that could happen now, probably only because now so many churches have learned their lesson that like one single pastor will become corrupt if they're not held accountable. And so there are like church boards and elders and deacons and all the things to like make sure things stay on track. But I don't know. I don't know how all denominations do it and how all churches do it. And I know there's still corrupt churches. And so, yeah, I actually try to like keep a radar on that. Like if I'm ever visiting a church or when I was looking for a church, I'm always kind of sussing out like how's the leadership, because I said this in I said this in Fable. I don't know if I said it in my video, but I grew up in a tiny little church like the one at the beginning of this book, which is why I related to it so immediately. As soon as I started reading it, I was like, oh, relatable. Like truly, guys, I grew up going to a church with probably 40 people, maybe 50 at its biggest. But then like people move away, people walk away from church, and like it was down to maybe 3 families literally going to the church I grew up in. So and we didn't have like this pastor come in and make everything better, you know, but still I could just like picture how desperate like these elders were to keep it alive and not knowing what to do. And then this young pastor comes in and stirs things up. Like part of it, I understood that Paul was like, he knew what he was doing. Like he knows what will attract people to something, but then he lost it. Like he just got so swept up in seeing how fast he could grow it and not like how deep of like disciples of Jesus he could make, you know? So anyways, that's why I relate to this book so much. And yeah, like growing up in it, I know how I probably would have been more like Eunice, but now if I was in that situation, I don't know what I would do. I hope that I'd be more like Samuel, but at the same time, I don't know if I could stay quiet. So, anyways, because I can get pretty passionate. I just have like seen time after time people walking away from church and walking away from their faith in general, and it makes me frustrated because I'm like, why? Like, is it because of a person? Because like, or is it just that own the own person's like issues with God? I don't know. Like, but I don't want it to be because of church, you know, doing something they shouldn't. But anyways, okay, I'm passionate about that. I read non-Christian books as well. I feel like they're judged more like it, but it's hard to. Yes. I also like I read a mix of Christian and non-Christian books, and I actually almost would say that I judge them not as harsh just because I know they're not trying to be a Christian friendly book, and I'm choosing to read it. So I try to keep an open mind with that, but then I do still have my boundaries. We're going to continue the club. Yes, we are. We definitely are. I just don't know what the books are going to be next year. It's definitely going to be a mix. I considered doing like one author again, but there's not one other author that I have access to their books and that I actually want to read for the whole next year. So it's going to be a mix. And I'll release it as early as possible, like November at the latest. I'll release like all the books and stuff. And yeah, and we'll do that because I truly have had such the best time, and it's been a nice like reason to do a live with you guys and talk. So 100% I want to do another book club with you guys. It's so nice that it's like, I don't know, it's just been great. So yeah, and I'll do it on Fable too. Like I'll basically do everything that I did for this one, but just with new books. So it's gonna be great. Paul was on my nerves. I know, watching a train wreck, couldn't look away. I know. Why do you think it was called And the Shofar Blew? Oh, good question. I know, literally, Paul, I wanted to slap him. Like, seriously. I do think that Samuel, near the end, when he was praying, he explained the shofar thing. Yeah. Literally, I found it. Okay. On my book, page 422, Samuel's praying, and he says, how long must I bear this sorrow? I have known and done your will for over 70 years, but I know men too. And it will take the blasting of a shofar to make Paul stop and listen. Lord, please make him aware of this pain he's caused. Bring him to account for it. So he said shofar. I feel like, oh yeah. Oh, and then it says, how I wish your voice was as loud as the ancient shofar so that I could hear and know what you want me to do. So I feel like the shofar, am I saying it right? Shofar blew. That was like to indicate like the coming of the Lord, I think. And that's all I got. Yeah. That's all that I remember from it referencing it in this book. So I don't know if that answered it. The thing I love about Francine is that her scenarios are sometimes a real life. It does make it hard to read, but it's so much more impactful. I agree. That's exactly how I feel. It's just real life. I could see this actually happening, you know? And I don't know how she does it. Like, it's obviously a gift from God, but that's why I love her books and why I will continue to read them, even if they're hard, even if there are like graphic things or dark things or just sin in the books. She has proven that she will bring God's truth in the end, and there will be redemption and justice will be served. You know, like Paul had to step down. He left. He's not the lead pastor anymore. And I don't know if he'll ever be a pastor. Like, he should just be a professor, like a Bible teacher, you know? Do not lead a church because he can't handle that kind of power. Yeah. So that's why I love them too. I liked it because I'm a PK of a small. Yeah, I know. See, there's the thing. Very relatable. I think they were living in the 1950s marriage. That's how it came across to me as well. Just that, like, yeah, women were for the home. That's it. Men don't listen to them. Women don't understand business. And like Paul even said, like, you're a woman, you wouldn't understand it. But I'm like, she literally went to Bible school too, though. Like, yeah. Not in my marriage. We would be considered traditional or more like it. Oh, okay, nice. That's great. Um, I mean, and that's the thing where it's like equal, you know, where Samuel loved and respected Abby so much, and she did the same. But he was the man and she was the woman, you know. I feel like that's ideal. But 3.25 stars. Yeah, okay, least favorite. Tell us why. Tell us why. Blown in the synagogue to mark the Jewish New Year. Oh, acting as a wake up call. Oh, great. Okay, there you go. There's the answer. Just keep reading and we find it. Um, I think some characters need to speak up more and others. Yes. The character speaking up more, I'm like, where also where's like the governing body that like comes in and says like, hey, you're actually not teaching the gospel anymore, like the Bible. Um, maybe that wasn't a thing back then, but like I just feel like it wouldn't have been allowed to go on that long. But like the elders, I guess that was their job and they all left. But like, could they not have said like, you're done? You know, I don't know. Lois had so much power in this book and she never stepped into that. I know, which would have helped so many. I know. She was like complacent too. Like it was crazy. In a way, I appreciate it because even like, yeah, with David and him like retiring and stuff and her like not saying anything, I feel like that's just how women were conditioned though to be in marriages and as pastors' wives, like I don't know. But yeah, sad. And I just don't know if that would happen now, you know? But remembering that it's back then, it did make sense to me. It was frustrating, but it made sense. So I was okay with it. Um, I think Samuel's following God by not doing anything. I know, you're right. Like they definitely showed that. I think the whole story was part of God's plan, even if it was just to save Paul and his family. Yeah. And really, like, it is such a good lesson for so many people watching Paul um, and like watching his downfall. Um, and maybe now, like, because of all the years of like pastors we know coming out and saying the things that they've done and having to step down and like just all of the, you know, scandals that are coming out of the church lately. Um, I feel like it is a wake up call to the church. Like pastors are not perfect and we have to hold them accountable and we can't just assume they are doing exactly God's will all the time. And they have, yeah, accountability is so important and no one is like higher than that. No one doesn't need it, you know? Um, and it's wise to know that you need it rather than like feeling weak about it. I don't know. Um, yeah, I think too, like Samuel, he was clearly like in with God and like very in tune with him. So clearly God was like, just keep praying. That's it. And yeah, but that's hard. That's really hard to stay quiet. The secret is what frustrated me so much. I could never keep my mouth shut. I know. I know. I got kind of same, kind of same. Or I probably just would have just left. Like with Eunice, Eunice was the one that I struggled with the most, actually. Lois too, but um, yeah, I was like, fight for your marriage and fight for your son. You know, don't let your husband get away with this. I don't know. I just wouldn't let that happen. But like, also, I don't know what I don't know. We don't actually know unless we're in that situation, right? But it's just nice um, to see that perspective, and it gives me compassion for people like Eunice because I know that they're so like timid and um, so, anyways, I understand. Parents who keep things like this from their adult children drive me crazy. They are grown, tell them what they need to know. Yeah, I know. Like Lois wanting David to tell Paul, if she knew her husband, he was never going to tell Paul, you know, like he was never going to like own up to that because he wanted to have that image that Paul had of him. Um, so unless he like had a repentant heart, there was no way he was ever going to tell Paul. And if Lois saw that, why did she not tell him? Especially knowing what Eunice is going through with Paul, you know, and what the church is doing. Like, seriously. Grew up in a tight little church too. The struggle for discipleship in a small church is equally. Yes, regardless. Absolutely. Yes, that is 100% true because we struggle with that too. Like, because like if there's not a leader to like make things happen, things just don't happen. And you just like show up and leave. And that's it. And it's like, yeah, it's hard. It's hard. Um, like the symbolism of the shofar mentioned. Yes, yes, yes. Yeah, I liked that too. I really liked those parts where it was like back and forth. Um, yeah, clearly God had called Samuel, like, now is the time, like, pray hard right now. I love too that Francine shows how crucial prayer is when the characters don't know, you know, like Samuel didn't know what was happening, but he listened to God saying, like, continue to pray for Samuel or for Paul. And that obedience, even like if Samuel never got to see the results of his prayers, you know, that's also encouraging to me. Lois is the first one to bring it up. She talks about not hearing the shofar blow for a very long time. Oh, I didn't catch that. That's great. How she knew she lost her faith. Oh, wow. Okay, I didn't catch that. This does actually happen. There's some mega churches that are very corrupt. I've heard that. Yeah, I know. There's like, I guess what do you guys consider mega? Like in my area, I guess I would say maybe there's like two. Um, but for mega, like there's like one bigger church and then they have a whole bunch of like church plants and like church campuses, which I guess you would say is mega. There's two like churches, yeah, near me that have that, and I actually go to one of them. And I've been very careful to like watch what they preach, watch what they do, because I don't want to be brainwashed, you know? So I'm very aware of that. There's just more churches in the US. So I think that it just happens more often because there's just more of it. Yeah. Paul was only living what he knew growing up with his dad. Yeah. And trying to gain his dad's love. I'm not saying it was okay. That's the thing. Obviously that's what he was doing. Right. And he let his earthly dad's opinion matter more than God's. And it is crazy to me that even, you know, going to church, learning the truth, going to Bible school, being a great Bible teacher, working at a church, it didn't sink in that like God's the one he's supposed to please, you know? But then he thought that building a giant church would please God. And how did he miss that? Like, it's just crazy. And I always think like, I know it's actually easy to miss truth about God. And I just pray that I don't miss truth about God, that I'm not like blinded by my own like sinful nature of thinking about how things work. And yeah, it turned into Paul building his church, not God's. So in my church, the elders and deacons only have a 3-year term, where that didn't happen. Oh yeah, true as well. Yeah, there should be like kind of, yeah, term where you like vote on new ones. And yeah, that's what my church does too. I don't know how long their term is, but yeah, Paul deliberately employed elders and deacons who would stroke his ego. I know. Yeah, he waited for like those 3 guys to leave. I don't remember, Otis and the other guy and Samuel. He waited for them all to leave and then he could do whatever he wants. And yeah, and then to like hear at the end that whatever the guy's name was, that was like the treasurer, he took like millions of dollars from the church. That's why you don't trust people, okay? It was also a good reminder to pray for your pastor and realize, yes, totally. Pray for your pastor. They need mentorship too. And they need to be constantly learning, and they need a safe person where they can like confess to, and then like be prayed for. So yeah, there was a pastor years ago that I used to watch all the time. When his scandal came out, it wrecked me. Yeah, we have to remember not to put them. Yes, I know. That's the thing. That's happened to me before too. Like just pastors I watch online, mostly through COVID. I like, you know, was watching a lot of sermons online, and then to see like where they are now, I'm just like, that's too bad. It's too bad, you know, but I got a lot out of it back then. But to like, yeah, see how there's certain people you think like, oh, that would never happen to them, but like it can happen to anyone. And it's really, it's sad. It's a wake up call for us too, right? Like don't put them on pedestals. They need prayer too. They are not perfect. Would have liked Stephen more. Same. I wanted more Stephen perspectives because I liked his character a lot. Like he was so just genuine, I guess. Like it was nice to see he had gone through like rehab and he had come to Jesus, and like to see that forming, I thought she wrote that so well. And I totally would have read more chapters about him, and just seeing how his relationship with Brittany was growing, and would have loved to see a little bit more of him and Karen, like to know that they were dating at the end is cool. But now I want a Stephen and Karen book. Okay. So yeah, totally. And a very good contrast to Paul. Totally. Their different reactions. Like he was so opposed, like, do not give me my own church. I don't want to be like that. No, no, no. Which is good. See, like that's like a good thing that came out of Paul's situation is it like is a warning, like don't do what he did. I don't think everyone stayed quiet. Some for sure. Many people did say things. Yeah, totally. I agree. You're right. A lot of people did. He just wasn't listening. And if he wasn't listening, they left because it's like, well, I can't learn from you. Like you're not actually a good leader here. Yeah, like he showed a little bit of remorse when the first two guys left, the two elders, but then he just like spun it. So like, oh, this must be God's will. So sad, you know? And that's where another thing, you guys, God's will. Okay. When things happen that it's like, how can that be your will though? How is that right? When he allows things that you feel like are not right, it's tough. It is tough. Okay. And I'm right there with you all. And it's trusting the sovereignty of God that he will have the final say and there will be justice in the end. And it's not our timing, it's God's timing, but it's tough, right? It would have been a great ending to have Paul show up with complete humility to Stephen's Bible study. I agree. I also, part of me was like, is that going to happen? Like, I almost forgot that that didn't happen. But I know, I liked that too. Technically, I've heard that a mega church is anything bigger than 3,000. Oh, wow. Okay. Never mind. I don't go to anything that big. Even probably with all the campuses combined, I don't think it would hit 3,000. Maybe 1,000, if that. Probably not even 1,000. So never mind. Biggest that is around me. I don't even know. There might be like one mega church in all of Canada then. Like, I don't know. Do you know, Lisa, in what's the big church in Ontario? Sanctus Church? Did they rebrand? Do you know about that church, Lisa? Sanctus Church. I've listened to some of their sermons too, and it sounds like they have multiple campuses. And the way they like talk, it sounds like they're talking to hundreds of people, but I don't actually know. Not just mega, but small churches can be corrupt too. Oh yeah, totally. And in a way, that's why they remain small, right? Like there's two results of either like being corrupt. You can either like trick people and grow, or corrupt and everyone can tell and they're like, I'm not being here, you know? So yeah, it can be big or small. You're so right. Did the church in the book have a specific denomination? Or is it the Church of Paul? I don't know. Yeah, she never quite, I guess like you could maybe slightly charismatic, because I feel like how Eunice was leading worship, it sounded charismatic to me, but they didn't talk about raising hands or anything, or like the Holy Spirit much. So I don't know. Usually Francine just like writes general Christian, you know, just I guess like you could say evangelical Protestant. Yeah. Stephen was one of my favorite characters. Me too. Loved his character. Yeah, after Samuel, Stephen, he was great. Off topic a bit, but Abby's death wrecked me. I know, she was faithful to the very last. I know, what a picture of a faithful servant of God that just loves people and like doesn't blink at sin, and just ultimate grace for everyone. It's so good. I agree. Stephen's attraction to Eunice shows the temptation. Yeah, yes. And that's another thing where I'm like, I don't like that part, like the love at first sight kind of thing. It wasn't love, it was like attraction at first sight. I feel like that doesn't happen that often, but it added a good part to the book. And church over Paul. Yes, I know what you mean. I wanted more Stephen. I know. I wanted to see Brittany too. And Brittany and what's his name? Her dude at the end, Jack. Was it Jack? Brittany and Jack. Oh, loved. He works all things for good in his glory. Yes. Amen. I'm not sure if we have a mega church here in Canada. Maybe one. Yeah, I know. just because, what do you guys think? And I mean, maybe there's not many Canadians here, but I feel like, and maybe it's like this in the US too, but okay, let me know what you think, where there's actually quite a lot of divide between denominations. And for the most part, I've seen in my area, like denominations can work together, and we do kind of like community things here and there. But like denominations are so, I don't know, specific that there's no way for one to dominate all over all the others. I would say like for sure Protestant is bigger than Catholic here in BC. Although there are some like pretty big Catholic churches too. So I don't know. But then within Protestant denominations, there's just so many different ones that not one can become mega, because there's almost like something for everyone, which can be good and bad, one of those things. But is it like that in the States too, would you guys say, like where denominations make it so that there's not like one church everyone goes to? Because I don't know, but like there's Hillsong churches in the States, right? And then what's another big one? Elevation Church is big. I assume they have multiple campuses. And then I don't remember the name of Andy Stanley's church, but I know he has one. And then there's like Passion Church. Is that a church? What else do I know about you guys? There's probably like lots of churches that I don't know the name of, but like I've heard the pastor's name because they've written books or whatever. Because I feel like there's one in New York that is big too. Anyways, I just find it so interesting because church is so crucial to our growth as Christians and like for fellowship and just, standing up for truth in this world. And yet within church, it's so hard for everyone to get along and to actually like not get corrupted. And I don't know, to not focus on the wrong things. I don't know, it's tough. There are a few with huge congregations, satellites. Okay, I'm sure. Okay. Yeah. Yeah, the only church I've heard of is Sanctus Church in Ontario. I know of Sanctus, they are a mega church. Okay, several mega churches. Oh, okay. Wow. Yeah, absolutely. Attendance does not. Totally. And I think it's harder to see sometimes in the bigger ones where the fruit is, because it's so easy to just go in and get no fellowship and then leave, just go for the experience and then whatever. So yeah, I feel like once you hit a certain size, like actually I was going to a bigger church than I am now. But now I went to another smaller campuses because the bigger churches, I just felt like I'm just like a fish in a giant sea, and I just felt like I couldn't get rooted in a big church like that. So now I go to a smaller campus and I love it. I know the pastor knows me. We know each other's names. Like that was big for me because I grew up knowing my pastor like personally because I went to a small church. And so I didn't realize that like knowing that my pastor knows who I am matters a lot to me. So yeah, so I go to church now where he knows who I am. And, I'm serving in the nursery and in preschool. And that's been lovely to like get to know the families and the kids. Yeah. And, yeah, just getting to know the staff at the church. What's my hair doing? It just matters a lot to me. So it's been really good for me. Yes, very divided denominationally here in the US. The thing is that bad theology can infiltrate. I know it's so easy. And why is it so easy? It's so annoying. Like that's part of what the enemy does, right? Like he corrupts God's truth. And it's like, oh God, may I not be like that. But there's ways I'm probably blind even to what lies I am believing, and that's why we have to be in our word and we have to be humble and not act like we know everything. I'm guilty of that. I love feeling like I know what's up. And I totally don't know what's up. It's a hard reminder. Oh yeah, huge divide. I'm in a small town in BC, 450 biggest churches. Yeah, I know. Even in the small towns, there's so many different churches that are maybe like 20 people each, and it's like, why can't we all be in one? But like, we all believe different things and it is hard to agree. And so it is what it is. But yeah, in the UK, we have a lot of denominations. Oh, I didn't know you were in the UK. That's cool. I feel like a lot of them have become very similar in theology with differences in small details. Yeah, I know, it's the small things that people can't agree on. It's nice that the pastor saw me. Yeah, that was big for me. You got to be in the Word and pray. Whenever I go to a new church, I make sure I speak to the pastor. Oh, nice. Yeah, good for you. I know, I always check the website too, like what is their statement of faith, because it matters to me. Okay, any shocking moments in this book for you guys? Any things where you were like, didn't see that coming? I think when I first was reading it, I had no idea what was going to get Paul's attention. And the threat on his life was interesting, that is what woke him up. I think that was my most like surprising moment. I can't really think of anything else surprising, because it was kind of just, like sad thing after sad thing, right? And but then like seeing Stephen break out of that and then start to like really heal and do amazing things, like that was a nice, happy part of the book, while Paul was still like ruining his life and everyone else. Yeah. And yeah, I don't know. I guess it was like how God got Paul's attention finally. You're so right when he slapped Eunice. You're so right. That was terrible. And seriously, I don't know if I could come back from that. Like for Eunice, like I truly don't know if I'd come back. Like the slap and the cheating, done, like fully done. So that's where I'm like, Eunice, I don't know about this, but like clearly she wrote it so that it was like God showing her like things, but I still was like, would have picked Stephen, for sure. One of the best books I read about church was Letters to the Church of Pastor. Ooh, okay, who wrote that? I'm gonna just save that. Is that Francis Chan? Didn't Francis Chan write a church book? Letters to the Church. I do want to look this up because please have it. Letters to the American Church popped up right away. Letters to the Church. Let's see. Letters to the American Church. That's the only one that pops up. Oh, and it's like new. Eric Metaxas. It came out this year. Okay, I'll look at it later, but thank you for that. You're welcome. Here, back it up. Rewatch. It's all good. We've just been chatting away about church pretty much. Didn't see Stephen's ex turning so quickly. I think it was too quick in real life. I can do anything. Yeah, I know. I do think though, because Stephen was so different than how she knew him, it clearly had to be Jesus. And I think that was it. Like Stephen's transformation was convincing enough. I've also had me talk to the wall. That's the best. I know, that's the thing. I was like, Eunice. But she really was a doormat for so many years. And I mean, she did look at Paul and thought like, I do still love him, so I will stay. But like, I don't know if I would still love the person, because like he fully like broke the marriage. So that's a tough one for me. How Paul disregarded his love for Abby and Sam, especially when Abby dies, like a husband and wife don't. Yes, totally. I know. Paul did just the bare minimum to string Eunice along, and it was so frustrating. It's like, Uni, girl, get out. 100%. She should have left a long time ago. Like, just go live with Lois or something. Seriously. Wasn't a fan of Stephen. Okay. There were some shockingly blunt things he said to Eunice. You know what? Fair enough. Wow. That is so funny. Wow. You know what? Yes, he definitely called her out at the beginning. And yeah, I would have been like annoyed by that. But like I think what I liked is he is what you see. Like there was no like smoke and mirrors with him, Whereas Paul, it just was like, I feel like I can't trust anything you say, you know? But hot take, okay. This is why I wanted more to the ending. God can redeem things when we repent, but it also takes work from people involved. I know, I would have liked to see more resolution. I do notice that Francine, writes a nice little epilogue to say, and these people did this, and this is how it all worked out. Because I think she's more about the journey to redemption than showing like the aftermath of it. But hey, write 100 more pages, girl. We'll read it, you know? Because yeah, same with the masterpiece, which we will read in November. But I read it recently last year, and I also was like, give me more to that ending, please. You know? And the ending to An Echo in the Darkness. Show me more of Hadassah and Marcus in love. Okay, please. Yeah. The book isn't clear if Paul had a full affair with Sheila or just a kiss or maybe something. I know it wasn't clear. I didn't really want to know. Like I tried to try to kind of figure it out, but I was like, also, why do I want to figure that out? Like, no thanks. I think no. I know. It was certainly heading there if they weren't caught, but my boyfriend was angry just listening to me talk about Paul. Okay, take notes, bro. Do not do those things, you know? So funny. Personally, I don't think it has to. Oh, yeah, absolutely not. I feel like emotional cheating 100% counts too. Totally, I fully agree. Letters to the Church's Friendship. Okay, that's what I thought. I also read Letter to an American Church by. Oh, okay, nice. Not same. Okay, good to know. It looks like my library is just getting metaxases in. There's been a few books like that I've seen in the library, and part of me is like, do I even trust the author though? Like maybe I won't read it just because I don't think I trust the author. So whatever. But I do like to get more just information about churches and how people handle them, and what the history is and stuff. It was for sure an emotional affair, if not physical. Yeah. Well, yeah. No, I fully agree. If there's even a question, that's a problem, in my opinion. And for him, it's even inappropriate for him to be counseling women. I don't believe that a male pastor should counsel a woman because it's just not safe. That's my opinion though. And if people do that, it's totally fine. But this is an example of why I don't think that it's right. And yeah, I guess, yeah, I'm not chasing no man. Okay. And if he wants to give attention to other girls, go ahead. I'm sitting down, and you go ahead and come to me if you want me, but I'm not chasing you. So that's how I do it. So yeah, the cheating piece, I'm like, oh, hey, you don't actually like me. So maybe we should just, I'll find someone else. You know, that's how I see it. I've been through it before. So I'm with you. Agreed. She says, yeah, absolutely. Yeah. Looking at a woman, is adultery. With lust is adultery. I realized from this book that it is a sensitive topic. Yeah, it certainly. It's not something that has happened to me personally. Let's just say, absolutely, yeah, and that's good enough for a lot of us. So, yeah, this is my parents' divorce. Yeah, oh yeah, I don't blame you one bit. Yes, okay, it's true though, because when I kind of haven't really that much, but when I kind of have, it just doesn't work. It makes me feel weird, and the guy doesn't do it right anyway. So I just come and get me. That's all I can say. Just to say, stay above reproach. Absolutely, yes. That's exactly it. It's the above reproach thing, and I know that it might feel like, oh, whatever. It doesn't have to mean anything, but the thing is, it does though. It does mean something. So it does matter, even if we feel like it shouldn't. That's what I think. But yeah. Okay. I totally forgot about the slap. That for sure was terrible. I actually think I was when I was reading that the second time because I forgot. Okay. I feel like there's nothing else mega that I'd want to talk. There are discussion questions at the back of my book, but they're usually like too much. And they require like people being in person and stuff because they can be quite personal. Yeah, I don't know. I think that this book is just very useful to like just shine a light on the corruption that can happen, and kind of a warning, don't be like some of these people, and then also to like really douse your church in prayer and your church leaders in prayer. So yeah, I feel like it's a challenging book, and that's why I like it. I like being challenged spiritually because you don't get that often. You get all the happy Christian books, and I like that Francine Rivers doesn't write happy Christian books. She writes really tough ones, so I appreciate her for it. Someone has gone through a lot of safeguarding training. This book was wild. Yeah, I know. That's the thing where I'm like, is it just because it was young, or it's just like they had no accountability? I don't know. Yeah. Okay. Very excited to read Leota's Garden because I have never read this book before. Oh, wrong book. There we go. This is my copy, hardcover. And I got this for my mom. And actually, is this actually... Yeah, look at you guys. Okay, I don't really want you guys to see my last name. So I'm just going to do this. The name in blue is my great-grandma. And the name in red is my mom. Isn't that cool? This was my great-grandma's book. So I'm treasuring this. So I'm really excited to read this. I hope I like it. But I read just like little bits of it, and I think I will like it. But I just haven't heard many people talk about this one. So I'm just excited to like dive deep, So thank you for joining. Thank you for the discussion, you guys. I always appreciate it. I have said this a couple times, but on Monday I am leaving for a camp. I'm cabin leading a camp at camp with Young Life, if you guys know what Young Life is. So I'm going to do that from Monday to Sunday. So the rest of my day, I am hoping to film my July wrap up and have that up for next week. And then hopefully one other video, but it's been tough, you guys. Like, as you can see, it took a while for me to get an upload out. It'd been like 8 days or something. And I was like, ooh, but it's just been busy, you guys, and emotional and just lots going on. So, yeah, but I was so happy to be reading this book. It just, something about Francine Rivers, it's like, I can't help but read it. So it's really helpful that way. I was considering bringing Leota's Garden to camp with me, but I don't want to because I need to like have my mind in that book. So I'm going to bring one other just fun book. I don't know what I'm going to bring yet. Or it might just be my Bible. I probably won't even have time to read, but we'll see. Yeah, but I'm going to do that. So I will change over, I guess today I'll change over the Fable Book Club to Leota's Garden. But then, yeah, I'll be fully absent from it for a full week, pretty much 8 days for the first week of August. So I'm sorry that I'll miss some of the updates, but I'm for sure excited to read this book. And I did get the audiobook from my library, so that's exciting. I hope it's good. So I'll be able to like catch up and read it a bit faster with the audiobook. So that's going to be great. And that's it, you guys. I kind of just like hanging out with you, but thank you for being here. I see some comments, so let me check it out. Keep your first love first. That's what I would describe the message. Oh, that is so great. I love that. Yes. Put Jesus first, always. Always. Finished. Ooh, okay, not your fave. I am very curious if I'm going to like it. We'll see. Let me first start reading it. Sorry, it doesn't sound particularly interesting. Oh, no. Okay. We'll see how it goes. I love Francine Rivers toys. Yeah, me too. I love it too, you guys, so much. Yes, my pleasure. It's been lovely. Oh, thank you. Oh, were you? Okay, awesome. That's great. Thank you so much, you guys. Really, really appreciate it. Yeah, okay, well, have an amazing Saturday, you guys. yeah, I've got some stuff to do. My giant suitcase I got to pack today too. Because yeah, tomorrow's gonna be busy. It's just busy, you guys, and yeah, then I leave Monday morning for camp. So yeah, okay, thank you so much, you guys. I'm gonna end it here, I think, but I'll see you in the next one. Bye, guys.